Hello everyone, it's Nitro here again, welcoming you to another very ambitious project of mine, Nitrous versus EU, Nordic and East. In a nutshell, the goal of this project is to start from scratch with a brand new account and climb the ladder as high as I possibly can, with, as you might guess, the ideal finish line being at somewhere at Diamond, I don't know. And in addition to this enormous guest thing, I wanted to fuse another video format idea that has been lying around my head for a while now. As live commentary from every single game I play would be hard to perform, boring to watch and plain one-sided, I wanna make real good use of all the gameplay footage with post-recorded commentary slash stories. Sometimes being related to League, sometimes not that much. As I said earlier, this type of video format has been in my mind for some time now. I just haven't come up with a proper way to kick it off. But enough of this explaining, I'm sure you got the whole of it. As we are rolling this series' first game out, which unfortunately has to be an AI game because you have to be level 3 to play classic PvP. Where was I? Oh yeah. As we are in basically level 0 at the moment, where everyone starts, the main topic of this pilot episode of our series is going to be my first experiences playing League and how the game and the community as well has evolved from its early days. On October 26th, 2009, League of Legends was officially released. Fast forwarding 1.5 years, in summer of 2011, few friends told me about the game and soon downloaded it to my old, sadly no longer operating Fujitsu laptop. It was Season 1 and my slight blurry memories include confusion, dying, and a lot of lag. I remember the first champion I ever played was Mordekaiser, where my friend let me try the game on his computer before downloading it to me. I only remember using Mordekaiser's E of that time. I didn't understand how the rest of his abilities even worked. Finally, when my slow laptop finished patching League with the... oh god, here comes the nostalgia trip. Old launcher. Damn, I pity those who don't remember this. What was I saying? After hours of waiting, we finally got to play. I have no clue how my first whole game went, but I'm sure it wasn't pretty to watch. All I played for like the rest of the season was against bots with my friends. Because I was simply told that I would stand no chance against other players. And 11-year-old me bought it 100%. Oh god. As far as I can remember, I rarely played by myself at the time. I guess I wasn't that into the game yet, or I just didn't know how to make my own custom games. Yeah. The champion that I instantly fell in love with and played for solid 2 seasons was Tristana. I mean, seriously, if I didn't get to play Tristana, I would feed my ass off. As if I already didn't feed with Tristana. Doesn't matter what lane, what role. Well, to be honest, I don't know if any of us knew what roles were. Well, I just played the fuck out of Tristana. I gotta mention that me and my 2 friends who introduced me to League played mostly Twisted Treeline. And no, not the current map, the old map. Yeah, I can hear you ask, what old map? Wasn't Twisted Treeline always like that? Okay, sit down kid, let me tell you a story of the good old Twisted Treeline. We had this unbeatable strategy that always guaranteed us first blood no matter what. One of us took Blitzcrank and Ghost as a summoner spell, and immediately after the game started, he popped Ghost and ran straight to the bottom middle bush of the map. The thing is, I don't know why, but most of the time people just bash into each other on the bottom lane at level 1, and the team that came on top got a huge advantage. To exploit this habit, we got our Blitzcrank in the bush, way ahead of everyone else, to grab the first unlucky foe that got too close. 99% of the time it resulted in a kill, because people weren't running flash at so low levels. Yeah, good stuff. During that little story time, the first game happened to end already. We got about 40 XP and 80 is needed to reach level 2, so after this one we'll surely have our first level up. Yay! I forgot to mention that I'm trying to play at least all the free week champions to keep the footage interesting. So last game I was playing Garen, obviously, and now we're playing Varus, as if you didn't notice already. There isn't much more to talk about relating to the time I started playing, except for the fact that I reached level 30 just a little before season 3. Mostly because I quit playing for a good 6 months, cause my laptop didn't run the game anymore. Finally, when I got a desktop for my 13th birthday, I could play properly. Now when I think about it, the transition from my laptop to the new desktop of that time was huge. I could like barely run Minecraft with that laptop, let alone poorly optimized early version of League. My whole mind exploded when I got to play, well, anything on the new PC. 60 FPS was a whole new concept for me. I wouldn't go back to that solid 15 FPS and potato graphics even if I was paid to. But I like to imagine, what if I never got a desktop computer? What if I was still playing with that old fart of a laptop? This also requires that I wouldn't watch any gaming videos or go to my friends' houses to see them play. I mean, I would be happy, because I wouldn't know better. Well, I guess I would still know that my laptop is bad and all games could be ran better, but I wouldn't know how good everything would run compared to my laptop. Because I haven't seen anyone play the games I play with better setup. Okay, yeah, this vision is starting to get really unrealistic, so let's just cut it here. You got the point. I want to say a few words about the evolution of League and its community. Wow, that sounds actually really epic. That will make a good video title. I will look into that. Anyway, this should be a no-brainer, but League of Legends was a completely different game 5 years ago. I don't know how many of you guys played around that time, but there are only few things that have remained the same way back from Season 1. Except for Nunu. God damn, I haven't seen Nunu being touched in the patch notes for years. That's one hell of a yeti. Okay, I'm going to list few things that you probably have heard of, but most likely have not witnessed. Ionic Spark, Seasonal Summoners Rift maps, Released Areas, Heart of Gold, Unlimited Wards, pre-rework AP Tristana, Nasus bot, no support items, and last but not least, Proving Grounds. So, let's start going down the list and start from Ionic Spark. Ionic Spark was an item that gave a 50% attack speed and around 400 to 500 health, I don't quite remember, and it had a unique passive. Every 4th auto attack released a chain lightning to nearby enemies that dealt magic damage. Sounds familiar? Don't be so surprised when I say that this item was removed and reworked into Static Shiv in Pre-Season 3. So, what's the big deal? Well, as I literally played only Tristana up until Season 3, Ionic Spark was one of my core items. I don't remember much, but imagine building 2.5 attack speed and every 4th auto attack of yours applies a static shiv passive. Yeah, you can see I like this item. Seasonal Summoner's Rift maps. Oh boy, I have no idea what Riot's thinking when they're not bringing back the seasonal map textures from 2010 and 2011. I am of course talking about the snowy winter textured and the spooky harrowing autumn textured versions of Summoner's Rift. I don't remember if those were on the ranked rotation as well, because I didn't play ranked back then, but those versions were available on normal 5v5 games, co-op versus AI and custom games. And I gotta tell ya, those were pretty damn cool. Too bad I didn't get to play on those too much, because they were long gone when Season 2 began. But hey, just imagine what those maps would look like with the new visual upgrade of the map. Well, technically new. It came when Season 5 started, so I still consider it as a new. But right, moving on. Next up is... oh damn, this still gives me chills. Release Darius. I guess Darius wasn't that big of a problem in the higher levels of play, but in my level at the time, from unranked to silver, Darius was a freaking tank. No, I'm not talking about a League of Legends tank, a real tank that blasts your face off. Okay, everyone remembers the Juggernaut rework that happened about a year ago, where Darius got a rework as well. Before that rework, Darius was like, of a pick, but oh man, when he was released. 3 words: ult, cooldown, reset. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, and that is true. From level 6, if he killed you with his ult, the cooldown resets completely. Let that sink in for a moment. But that's the only OP thing I can remember from Darius when he was released, but he must have had these crazy scalings with his other abilities as well. At least it felt like it. Oh man. I'm sorry everyone, I have no good memories of Heart of Gold. Well, necessarily not bad either. I never really used the item. But what I've read and heard, apparently it had to be removed due to everyone else but sports buying Heart of Gold to get that extra money. Heart of Gold was kind of a super item that gave health and gold over time and was removed in pre-season 3, if you don't happen to know. Yep, before Season 4 you could buy and put down as many stealth and vision wards as you possibly could afford. And vision wards were just as invisible as stealth wards. Yeah, sounds crazy, right? Well, it wasn't at the time, because there was a consumable item in League that was removed at the same time as the ward limit was added, called Oracle's Elixir. The item gave the consumer 4 minutes of stealthed unit detection around him that did not wear off if killed. Yeah, every Teemo main had the time of their lives when they found out the item was going to be removed. Just Google AP Tristana. Do not watch my old video about it, please. The cringe is too real. I bet most of you haven't heard about the god, the legend, the one and only Nitrous bot himself. You know, the AI quality wasn't really that good in Season 1 to Season 2. Sometimes they would derp and run straight at the enemy fountain or something. But then there was Nitrous bot, the worst of all. All others did that too, but Nitrous was always running down bot lane by himself without any minions trying to 1v1 the nearest turret. And surprise surprise, he died. Many times. That was freaking hilarious to watch as time and time again Nasus rampages through the jungle and dies to a turret. Ah, good times, good times. You heard me right, there were no proper support items before Season 4. I mean, there were gold income items such as Philosopher's Stone and Cage's Lucky Pig, but no real items for supports to start with. I used to make Thresh back in Season 3, and I started with 3 health potions, 2 mana potions, 2 stealth wards, and 1 vision ward. I know, right? After a few minutes in lane, I had an empty inventory. Playing support sucked even more back then than it does now. You must have played the basic tutorial at some point. The super outdated one where you are taught how to move, use abilities, and such. Well, Proving Grounds used to be the map where the tutorial took place. And when the ARAM mode was first added into the game, Proving Grounds was used as the map until Howling Abyss was finished. Nothing so spectacular about this one either. Of course it will look bad compared to today's standards, but it just would be so cool to experience the old maps again. I know there will be a lot more to cover when it comes to early seasons of the game. Well, tell me in the comments if you want to hear more of me rambling about the good old days. The biggest difference that I can name about the changing of community is probably how people react to the game and overall toxicity of the community. As every one of you know, League is probably most notably known to strangers by its very bad community. But has it always been like that? Not necessarily in my opinion. What I can think of is back in the game's early stages, League wasn't so competitive. People didn't take it so seriously. One large factor is the fun of exploring and, well, you know, wow, what's this, what's that, oh, that does that thing, so cool. When the game started to age and people already knew every champion, have played all the maps and started to play ranked, suddenly there is no longer wondering and, well, trying out. One could argue that there is no fun anymore. I'll save that topic to another video. What I'm saying is that when people start to take the game more seriously and competitively, toxicity starts to pop up. And as the player base grew and grew, so did the toxicity, like wildfire. And then, there's no match where there would be no raging kids. But hey, that's just a theory! Okay, I'm just kidding. Whoa, that was something. As we are getting closer to the end of the final game before we reach level 3 and the end of this episode, I want to thank you all who still are listening to my voice. This is going to be a long journey and we're ready to go through it with honor. Well, at least I am. Oh shit, I died there. So, we will see on the next one with new topics and some PvP action. I was Nitro, still am, and I'm out. Bye.